Hi guys.
Hello.
Welcome to Etta Arlene Spiritcast. If you're new to this podcast, we talk about all things related to mindfulness, magic, astrology, tarot, Reiki, meditation, anything in that realm. Today's episode is a short episode and we're just going to chit chat and then we'll be back again with a longer episode next week. We're deciding if we want to do an episode based off of the book Spirit Speaks, and basically it's about the different types of spirit communication. So we're throwing that around out there. We have a couple guests lined up, but it's been a crazy week.
Oh, yeah.
Crazy in as I stepped on the cat and broke my elbow. So we were supposed to have this really awesome guest for today, and she does like past life regression, and she does a lot of really cool...
She lived in New Orleans for 20 years.
Yeah.
And she's really cool.
So we ended up having to push back her recording, and hopefully we can line everything up again and get her on the show. We met her at a Witchy potluck that we go to at the beginning of the month. So today you guys get a short, sweet chit-chat. Before we get into it, do you want to tell them where they can find us at?
You can follow us over on Twitter at edpro_PGH. We tweet a lot. You can follow us on Instagram, Tumblr, Pinterest, TikTok, Facebook at Arlene. You can go to our website, edarlene.com, sign up for our email list, and get a free Reiki session almost every single month. And you can go follow us over on YouTube. Go like and subscribe. We post Reiki-infused videos almost every single day. Go over there and get the juice.
So speaking of the Reiki, we think we're going to just have it be the first of the month, every month. And that's when our next one is if you're on the email list.
Yeah, so
May 1st.
Stay posted for that.
Yeah. All right, we're going to play this ad and then get into the episode.
Okay, guys, this is an ad. We believe in supporting small business, and today we're talking about the small business called Garage Cats.
They make 100% organic, handmade lip balm using hemp and cocoa butter. It smells amazing. It lasts for a very long time. They use eco-friendly paper tubes. They're pretty much awesome. If you are interested in supporting this business, you can find the link below or go to garagecats.etsy.com. We just want to take a quick moment to invite everyone listening to check out our shop at edarlene.com. If you like what we do, it is one of the easiest ways to support us. Plus, you will get our awesome handcrafted 100% vegan soy candles, our prints, books, oracle cards, and book a Reiki session. All of this can be found at edarlene.com and linked in the show notes. Alright, we're back. Do you have any life updates?
Not life updates, but I was listening to old episodes of our podcast, like from the beginning. So I was talking to this person about, like what we do and everything. And so it made me reflect. I was like, well, what are my favorite podcast episodes? I was like, well, I do like my episode, clearly. And I was listening to it, and I was laughing because we recorded that in 2019 when we started the podcast. And we made this, it was like this moment in it where we make this prediction, like 2020 is going to be like a transformative year, like a good year for everybody. And I was just laughing. I was like, yeah, it was transformative for a lot of people, but that year was not that great.
Yeah, that's funny.
Life hasn't been the same, but sometimes when I listen to our stuff, I'm like, wow, like I must really be channeling sometimes.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
So that's what I still want to do. I want to redo the interview like we did at the beginning at some point eventually.
Yeah.
Because it's fun. We'll bring up some good topics.
Yeah, it'd be cool, especially because we've kind of evolved in our practice. I think I've really kind of narrowed things in a little bit with what I do. Like for my personal, certain things I've been exploring. Like I feel like divination and like spirit communication stuff has gotten more pressing for me in its own way that it manifests. And yeah, like just some of the stuff I've chose to focus on. It's pretty cool how that works out. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with it, but yeah.
That's why even your episode, we talk about your art, and now like it all came to fruition.
Yeah,
like a lot of the stuff that we spoke about, like we spoke into existence, which is wild to me. And we were at a healing circle the other day, and it was really eye-opening. Sometimes people think that they're going through shit and it's only them. And there's a lot of stuff that people are going through. That's why we even started this podcast, was to show people, like, there's more to life, and, like, you're not the only person going through whatever struggles you think you're going through or experiences that you don't understand. And that's, like, an important note, that life comes, life happens, and we just have to roll with it.
Yeah, like, you're always gonna have some sort of something happening, and it's okay to go through periods of darkness and then come out the other end. Usually it's required. I mean, I know I've been dealing with underworld stuff for a chunk of the year, and it seems like a lot of the, like, entities, like, will come in and want to, like, help me out with some stuff. They always seem to make me do the underworld at some point. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm probably going through a phase of shadow exploration currently, but it's cool because I know that on the other side of it, I'm going to be better. And the other thing about, like, shadow work is I want to deal with it and work through it, so I'm not repeating the same thing. So if you don't learn your lessons, they'll keep repeating until you face them. So a lot of times you'll hear people say things like, I always date this kind of guy. Like, oh, how come every time I date somebody, they don't value me as a person? Or it might be, I think the wealth one is a good one because a lot of people experience that, where it's like that idea of money coming in, money coming out, always being broke, that type of thing. That's usually requires some sort of shadow work. And then if you feel like you faced it and then it keeps happening still, it's probably because there's still that you need to, like, work out. And I mean, money is definitely a big one because of how our society functions. Yeah. So it's not something to be kind of shameful about or think is like poo-poo it. Mm-hmm. And there's a reason why abundance Reiki and abundance spells and stuff like that are so popular. It's like, yeah, everybody wants to have money, but usually there's a lot of shadow work. A lot of things for you to face on the other side of that. So you might do some sort of money ritual, but then it's going to force you to deal with that darkness that is holding you back or blocking you from feeling like you're abundant. Mm-hmm. And abundance isn't just monetary. So I always think that, like, those are good activators to help you figure out how you can feel like your life is abundant. And it's one of those things that's really, a lot of us, I think, have deep ingrained trauma from money. So trauma might be too extreme of a word, but we have certain experiences that are tied to money. So, like, I have a personal example where I went to a job interview once, and the lady said to me, like, what makes me think I deserve the amount of money I was, like, asking for? And so when I was doing my, like, shadow work, I realized that conversation I had with her about money was directly tied to self-worth. So I love how the universe works, because I feel like the universe kind of will trick us on that topic into facing darker aspects that are directly tied to our success and, like, happiness. Mm-hmm. But the catalyst is doing something because you feel like you need money. And I think love is like that too. It's another really popular topic. So if you have issues with self-worth, self-love, self-esteem, the way you perceive yourself, all of that, you might not realize you have issues with that, and you end up doing the love ritual, love spells. And I'm not talking about love spells forcing somebody's will. That, for me, falls in the line of, like, Baneful Magick. Yeah. Because you are forcing somebody to love you versus having somebody naturally come and gravitate towards you. So there's this affirmation that is associated with Aphrodite, and it's I'm naturally beautiful, and I bring in people who adore me. Mm. And so it's not a love spell because it's just helping you align with people who think you're awesome. So that's different. But back to love, like, I feel like people will do self-love, or not self-love, I'm sorry, they'll do love Reiki, they'll do love magic, stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they have a dark night, and it's the universe helping them heal what's preventing them from feeling like they don't deserve partners.
And you have to be prepared for what you're asking for, and that means that you have to face it. Face the blocks, face the limiting beliefs that you're holding on to that are preventing you from the love or the life you want.
Yeah. shadow work 101.
Shadow work.
You know, it could take stepping on a cat and falling down the stairs.
And we're laughing because it's funny now, but at the time it was quite stressful.
Yeah, the irony of it is that weekend we were hanging out on the porch and we watched my neighbor step wrong off her stairs. And so we go over to help her out, and it turns out she broke her arm. And then like a day later, I have a very similar thing happen. So it's like really weird how the universe, you know, works with that. But I don't have to have any crazy cast or anything.
No.
And it's, I mean, I got through hip surgery, so what's 6 weeks of a broken elbow?
Yeah.
So.
And like, yeah, perspective.
Mm-hmm. You instantly were like, somebody hit you, like, baneful.
Oh, I am. I feel that way sometimes. And if there is somebody out there who's listening who is, you know, has negative intentions or whatever, like, good luck, bud. Good luck.
Yeah.
I personally don't think that that's the case, but...
I don't think so either. But I do return to senders in general for, like, good spiritual hygiene. Not often.
We transmute a lot.
Transmute,
alchemize,
but if I feel like it's really dense, sometimes I'm like, just take that back.
I saw this quote a while ago, and it was like, you have no idea what energies an individual will be working with. And just because the person that you are encountering might seem like they're, you know, light and love or peaceful, but the energies that might be assisting them...
All I know, I mean, we can talk about, like, spirits. We've had a lot of really strange things happen that not necessarily to us, but we've talked to various people. You know, we're engaged in the spiritual community, you know, period. So we've seen, like, firsthand some crazy stuff that people's spirit guides and ancestors and stuff have done to protect their loved ones. And I mean, well, I'm always like, I need to be good to people. Be good to people, period, because it's the right thing to do.
Because you want to, and it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and then, like, the energy, I also believe that the energy you put out, you receive. So that's another reason, not in a selfish way, just to maintain good energy. But, like, I remember somebody's ancestor, and it was a new ancestor. So this isn't like this ancestor wasn't one of those old mystic, you know, some of us have, you know, there's a name for this type of ancestor in certain schools of magic, but it's basically you have, like, ancestry that's tied to the occult, and they're really, like, powerhouses. So a lot of people have ancestry that is like that, and some of these, like, could be very old ancestors, like, you've never met them. But then we also have ancestors that help us out who are newer. And I remember we saw firsthand what somebody's new ancestor did to defend them. And that's just it. That was just a human spirit. So I can't imagine what a different type of spirit might do to protect their loved ones if they think it's correct to do so. And any type of high dimensional being, and it might not even be like a thing where they cause direct harm. It could be they force you into... Okay, here's an example. Like, the way you're behaving towards this said person is showing this high dimensional being that you have healing that needs to do. So they might initiate some sort of, like, shadow work for you to help you heal, but also so you treat their loved one right. So you might have having, like, crazy tower moments and stuff like that and feel like things are falling apart, and it'll benefit you in the long run. So this high dimensional being isn't necessarily harming you, but they're initiating that process because you wanted to fuck around and find out. Literally.
Yeah, I also think sometimes that is the point of it. Like, they are triggered to do something that trespasses. That way they are forced to
the universe
have that
works.
happen. Like, the universe works really in mysterious ways.
I agree with that. And I think, you know, talking about baneful magic and stuff, I think sometimes the universe uses people to do, like, a spell or something as a way to teach either the practitioner or the person that they're sending that energy to or doing the spell on. Like, it's something more involved than just whatever that is. But yeah, anyway, so I never want to, like, play around just because we've seen what larger entities have done to people in their protection of a person they think needs that protection. Some really wild stuff. We're not going to talk about on the show because it's very private, but like in different friends.
Very, very powerful situations.
Yeah. So we stay woke, don't provoke, and we don't like to do the fuck we're trying to find out.
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Yeah.
Treat people how you want to be treated and move through the world authentically.
Yeah.
If you are seeing something in somebody that you're envious of or jealous of, then maybe you need to reflect on your own life and see how you can, instead of being jealous, be inspired.
Yeah.
Use your energy for your benefit, not to do any bullshit. Like, instead of trying to hurt somebody or a situation, how about you make your life better, your world better? This is one church near our house, and well, kind of, it's on the way when I drive sometimes, and they always have really inspiring signs. And the current one they have right now is fighting fire with fire leaves only ashes. Yeah. So maybe reflect on that before you react to things in your life.
You know,
I in the back of my head, I'm a little gray. I'm like, maybe potentiality.
Yeah, I have I don't have like strict rules when it comes to magic because I think it is all some of the stuff is like beyond our understanding. My core is that I want to treat people how I want to be treated. And then my core, I was like protection magic's good in general. Yeah, I don't like judge people, and I do subscribe to energy coming back to you, and then when you are involved in a spell, like your energy's involved in that spell no matter what it is. So there is like a need to be mindful and cautious and not just go into certain things willy-nilly thinking that you're not going to be affected by it.
Yeah, in that episode I was talking about earlier, I remember there's a moment in it and we talk about how every single person has an energetic impact on the world. Well, no matter how great or how small you think it is. So the energy that you put out, you get back. The energy you put out into the world goes into the collective and affects the collective. Yeah. So it's all of our responsibility, person to person, to move through the world the way we want the world to be.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like,
and to not discount your presence and your existence here. Yeah. But fuck around and find out. What happens to TikTok? Yeah. When we figure out who you are, you will be dealt with.
Yes. I think too the reason why I'm like kind of like do what you want, like kind of, I don't have like strict codes with certain things. I'm sure I do. I just can't think of like a strict rule I have. I know it works for me, but I know like a various number of different types of practitioners and how they involve in their magic and stuff like that, and like their philosophies. So I mean, knowledge is power, and I think when you are exposed to a variety of different things, it helps you have more tolerance and more understanding, and helps you learn. And so from other practitioners that I've met over the years, and I've learned their philosophies, it's hard for me to have a staunch right and wrong mode of operating in an area that is gray in general. I do have like personal philosophies of being balanced. I have like, I don't really want to bring harm into the world, so I don't want to do harm, but I do believe in like defensive magic. I don't judge people who do like stuff that I don't do. That type of thing.
It's open mind, open heart.
Yeah, that's literally it. Like
it's moving through the world the way you want to move. And if you want to be understood and accepted, then you need to understand and accept.
Yeah. There was I remember I was chatting with one of my like guys, and I was upset about I was on the internet too much, and I feel like the internet will make you feel like the world is burning, and it's always been burning, guys. There's never been a really awesome time.
I'm sorry to break it to you.
Sorry. I mean, at least in the past, like, couple thousand years. But, I was thinking to myself, like, how could, like, I posed this, like, existential question. And I'm like, how could the world and humanity, like, how could it be healed? Like, how do you heal the world without forcing your philosophy down people's throats? And I'm not trying to articulate, like, what came to me, but it was essentially the idea that we're all different and we're all on different like paths and goals for our time here, different various levels of evolution in regards to in a spiritual sense. We're just all like so different, and that the way that it's healed isn't like forcing ideologies that you strongly believe in down everybody's throat. It's more of having respect and love and live and let live so that everybody can develop on their own course. And so if everybody's like developing on their own course, there's less discord because you're not arguing with each other. Because the natural response is like, well, what about people who are like, if you live and let live, they don't want to follow that and they want to be mean or they harm people. So obviously there's a degree of like do no harm. But like, if people didn't feel, would they be still defensive if you just let them kind of do their thing? And that's like removing that concept of certain religious ideologies that want to force that on you, because that's the inherent part that is causing the discord. It's the idea of just having your own practice and doing your own thing and being okay with what somebody else next to you is doing, even if you don't necessarily subscribe to their philosophy. So it's kind of like having like tolerance and then even love, but it's like the concept of tolerance, and I thought that was really interesting. It's not about like us all grouping, we unite.
Conforming in a certain way.
Yes. It's like about like us just being tolerant of each other, and it's not like a war. We have man our armies, and we're all gonna. It's like just kind of.
You have to be a certain way, or you're gonna be doing whatever. You're this, that, and third. Like, how about everybody take a chill pill and fucking just exist? Yeah. Just live your life the way you want to live your fucking life and mind your business. Stay in your lane.
There was I did a reading this morning with a newer like spirit. Well, she's not new, but she's like very pushy right now about me working with. I told you guys shadow work, okay? I have two very powerful queens that are
currently working with you.
Yeah.
That's
the one.
Honestly, I honestly, like, real talk. Fuck around, find out. Fuck around, find out. Like, honestly.
Yeah, it was actually really exciting when we were at our circle yesterday. The one showed up, and I humbly didn't think she was coming there for me. And then after, one of her devotees was like, oh yeah, she's there. So, I mean, I love that. But yeah, anyway, so I was like dealing with the one, and I asked her a question, how can I connect more, like how can I be more connected to like the celestial or like these like higher realms, like higher self, that type of thing. How can I like elevate myself in a way? And she answered with having fun. She said play. She said have fun, like enjoy like life. And I thought that was so powerful because it's not a battle. Like just have fun.
We're only on this plane for a short period of time. We can't spend our lives being miserable and wishing for things and wanting things. Like, we need to live in the moment and exist. Mm-hmm. And have fun. Raise your vibration.
Yeah, she said have fun. So, we'll see how that pans out. We are recording on 420, so,
Vibe, have fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy life. We're here to enjoy the sun, enjoy the trees. Stop getting so caught up in your head. Go outside.
Yeah. Well, it looks like this episode's getting over the length that
I'm good. I have nothing else to say. I'm just like, I don't know where my energy is right now, but move accordingly.
I am excited. I have 2 new books that I'm going to start. One's on the Divine Masculine.
Oh, yeah. Our buddy gave you a book.
Yeah, we have a friend at who goes to like a lot of witch stuff. And I don't know if he'll feel comfortable with me saying his name on the podcast, but he listens to the podcast and he's really lovely. So thank you. You know who you are.
Yes.
But he gave me this book on the Divine Masculine. Uh-huh. And then he suggested a book about like Anana and the Divine Feminine. And I'm really excited to read both of those.
We've been meeting some really, really cool people. And we're very grateful. And thank you for listening to the podcast. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, so we have Reiki now. Thanks for listening.